I don't know how many of you know about that game in the 90s where it was a very basic computer game called Lemmings, and you could get one lemming to move in a direction and all the other lemmings would follow it. And if the first lemming goes off a cliff, then all the lemmings go off that cliff. And I was just thinking about how this is a very good demonstration of why it's so important to have an emotional detachment to the rest of the lemmings in one's original family of origin system. It's not that I'm necessarily calling your family lemmings, but I'm saying this is how systems work. The dysfunctional systems that have spiritual strongholds governing them so that they have different members of the family playing certain dysfunctional roles. If we change our emotional location so that we no longer have to play in those roles, whether it's scapegoat or golden child or whatever the role is, then we're free to not follow the lemmings to go off the cliff. I just thought that was a great visual analogy for why it's so necessary to observe the observer, realize if we're emotionally attached to a system that we don't want to be emotionally attached to, and to make that decision to put arm's length between us and that system. Doesn't mean that we don't still talk to those people or deal with them or love them, but for our location of our emotional body to switch so that we are not so wrapped up and invested in changing those people, in changing their minds, in all of that. And we can just step back and go, do you know what? I'm over here. And it makes me think of when Jesus was at the temple when he was about 13 years old. And his parents lost him for a few days, imagine. And they come back and they're like, Wagwan! And Jesus said, didn't you know that I would be about my Father's business? You see, Jesus's emotional location was not with the family system of the tradition of men. It was with his Father in heaven. So we need to know where our own personal location needs to be. And then be there. And that's okay. And it might upset some people. And that's okay too. So what?